Hello, and welcome to Bookish English. I am very happy that you are here with me today, because today we have something special. Today, we are going to learn English through a true story. Not a fairy tale, not an old legend. A real story about a real man. Today, I will tell you the story of Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest football players in the history of the world. But I want to tell you something before we begin. This is not only a story about football. No, this is a story about a poor boy from a small island. A boy who had nothing, no money, no famous family, no easy life. But he had two things. He had a dream, and he had a heart that never gave up. This story will teach you English, yes. But maybe it will also teach you something about life. We will read the story slowly, in easy English, so listen with relaxed ears. Do not worry about understanding every word. Just follow the story. After the story, we will practice together. I will ask you questions, and we will answer them. Then we will learn some easy grammar from the story and the most useful new words. So this video is a complete English lesson, from beginning to end. And here is my advice. As always, read the sentences on the screen while you listen. If you can, say some sentences out loud with me, and watch this video more than one time. The first time, you will understand a little. The second time, you will understand much more. That is how we learn. Are you ready? Then take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let us begin. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Part 1. The Boy from the Island. Far away in the Atlantic Ocean, there is a small island. The island is called Madeira. It is a beautiful place, with green mountains and a deep blue sea. Madeira belongs to Portugal, but it is far from the big cities of Europe. Life on the island is quiet and simple. On this island, there is a city called Funchal, and in Funchal, on the 5th of February, in the year 1985, a baby boy was born. His family gave him the name Cristiano Ronaldo. His father chose the name Ronaldo because he liked an American actor with a similar name. The family looked at the little baby and smiled. They did not know it yet. Nobody knew it yet. But this small baby would one day become one of the most famous people on the planet. Cristiano was the youngest child in his family. He had one brother and two sisters. He was the baby of the family, and everybody loved him. But life was not easy for the Ronaldo family. They were poor. They were very poor. The family lived in a small, simple house. The roof was made of metal sheets. When the rain came, the family could hear every drop on the roof. Sometimes, the water came inside. The house was small, and the family was big. There was not much space, and there was not much money. Cristiano's father worked as a gardener for the city, and he also helped at a small local football club. He looked after the players' shirts, boots, and footballs. It was simple work, and the money was little. Cristiano's mother worked too. She worked as a cook, and she also cleaned houses for other people. She worked from morning to night. Her hands were always busy, and her back was always tired. She did everything for her children. The family did not have money for toys. They did not have money for new clothes. Sometimes, there was not much food on the table. But the Ronaldo family had love. The mother loved her children with all her heart, and the little boy, Cristiano, grew up with that love. Now, there was one thing on this island that did not cost money, one thing that was free for every child, rich or poor, and that thing was football. Little Cristiano fell in love with football, but it was not normal love. It was total love. Football was his morning, his afternoon, and his evening. Football was his first thought when he woke up, and his last thought when he closed his eyes. Cristiano did not have a real football at first. So what did he do? He made one. He took old socks, and he rolled them into a ball, and he played with that. He kicked bottles. He kicked cans. He kicked anything that was round, or almost round. For little Cristiano, the whole world was a football field. The streets of his neighborhood were his stadium. Every day after school, Cristiano ran to the street and played football with the other boys. The goals were made from stones, or old shoes, or two jackets on the ground. The field was hard, and sometimes the ball rolled down the hill, and the smallest boy had to run after it, but nobody cared. They played for hours and hours. They played in the sun, and they played in the rain. They played until the sky became dark, and their mothers called them home. Sometimes, Cristiano did not want to stop, even for food. His mother sometimes had to walk to the street and take him home by the hand. His grandmother once said that the boy loved the ball so much, he even slept next to it. Sometimes, Cristiano even climbed out of his bedroom window to go and play more football. He could not stop. The ball was calling him. At school, the teachers saw a boy who thought only about football. One teacher asked him, "Cristiano, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And little Cristiano answered without thinking, with big, bright eyes, "I want to be a footballer. I want to be the best footballer in the world." Some people laughed at this. The best in the world? A poor boy from a small island, far away from everything? It sounded impossible. It sounded like the dream of a silly child. But Cristiano was not joking. In his small heart, the dream was already alive, and it was growing every day. When Cristiano was about 8 years old, he joined his first real football club. It was a small club called Andorinha, the same little club where his father helped with the shirts and boots. His father watched him play, and even he was surprised. This boy was different. When Cristiano got the ball, something special happened. He was fast like the wind. He was hungry for goals. And he hated losing. Oh, how he hated losing. Yes, we must talk about this. Little Cristiano cried when his team lost. He cried real tears every time. The other boys called him Cry Baby. They laughed at him. But you know what? Those tears were not weakness. Those tears were fire. Cristiano cried because he cared. He cared more than anyone else on the field. He wanted to win more than anyone else. And that fire inside him, that fire would one day light up the biggest stadiums in the world. Soon, the small club was too small for Cristiano's big talent. A bigger club on the island, called Nacional, wanted him. So, Cristiano moved to Nacional, and there he became even better. He scored goals, he won games, and people on the island began to talk. Have you seen the son of Dolores and Dinas? Have you seen that boy play? He is special. He is different. The talk grew louder and louder. And soon, the talk traveled across the sea, all the way to the capital of Portugal, to the great city of Lisbon. In Lisbon, there was a famous club called Sporting. Sporting had one of the best football academies in the country. And Sporting heard about a young boy on the island of Madeira, a boy with magic in his feet. Sporting invited Cristiano for a test, and that invitation changed everything. Part 2. Leaving home. Cristiano was only 12 years old. 12. Think about that for a moment. He was just a child. And now, he had the biggest chance of his young life, but also the hardest choice. The chance was this: go to Lisbon, join the Academy of Sporting, and follow the dream. The hard part was this. Lisbon was far away, across the sea. His mother could not go with him. His father could not go with him. If Cristiano went to Lisbon, he would live alone. A 12-year-old boy, alone, in a big city, far from his family, far from his island, far from everything he knew. The family talked and talked. His mother's heart was breaking. Her youngest child, her baby, alone in a big city. But she also knew something important. She knew that this chance comes only once, and she believed in her son. So the family said yes, and little Cristiano packed his small bag, said goodbye to his mother, his father, his brother, and his sisters, and got on a plane for the first time in his life. He looked out of the window. Below him, his green island became smaller and smaller. Ahead of him was Lisbon and the unknown. Lisbon was another world. The city was huge. There were tall buildings, wide streets, cars everywhere, and thousands of people. For a boy from a quiet island, it was too much. Everything was new. Everything was strange. Even the way people spoke was different. The boys in Lisbon laughed at Cristiano's island accent. When he spoke, they laughed. Some boys made fun of him again and again. And Cristiano? At night, alone in his small room at the academy, he cried. He missed his mother. He missed her food, her voice, her warm hugs. He missed his street, his friends, his island. He was so homesick that it hurt. Homesick means you are sad because you are far from home. And Cristiano was very, very homesick. He called his family, and when he heard his mother's voice, the tears came again. Many nights, he wanted to give up. Many nights, he thought, I cannot do this. I want to go home. But then, every morning, something happened. The sun came up, and Cristiano remembered his dream. He remembered why he was there. He remembered his mother, working from morning to night. He remembered the small house with the metal roof. And he said to himself, No, I will not give up. I will work. I will fight. One day, my family will have a better life, and I will be the best in the world. So the boy dried his tears, put on his boots, and went to training. And how he trained. Cristiano trained like no other boy in the academy. When training finished, the other boys went to rest. But not Cristiano. He stayed on the field. He practiced his shooting, again and again. He practiced his running. He practiced his skills, his tricks, his free kicks, hundreds of times, thousands of times. When his legs were tired, he told his legs to be quiet, and he continued. When the ball did not go where he wanted, he tried again and again until it did. He watched the older players, and he copied the best things they did. Every day, he asked himself one simple question. How can I become better today? The coaches at Sporting could not believe their eyes. They sometimes found him training alone, at night, in the dark. This 12, 13, 14-year-old boy had the hunger of a lion. One coach said the young Ronaldo was like a little bean, small and thin. So Cristiano decided to change his body too. He worked in the gym. He did push-ups and sit-ups in his room at night, when the other boys were sleeping. Some stories say he even put weights on his legs to become faster and stronger. Slowly, year by year, the thin boy became strong. The little bean became a machine. You see, my friends, this is the first great lesson of this story, and I want you to remember it, because it is also true for learning English. Talent is a gift, but work is a choice. Many boys had talent, but nobody worked like Cristiano. He was not the best because of magic. He was the best because when others rested, he practiced. When others slept, he practiced. Remember this when you learn English. Practice, practice, practice. That is the road. Part 3. The Heart of a Champion. But then, when Cristiano was about 15 years old, something frightening happened. Doctors found a problem with his heart. His heart was beating too fast. When he ran, his heart raced like a wild horse, faster than it should. Imagine the fear. The boy who lived for football, the boy who ran like the wind, and now, a problem with his heart. The doctors said he needed an operation. And for some time, nobody knew. Would Cristiano ever play football again? His mother flew to be with him. The family prayed. Cristiano went to the hospital, and the doctors operated on his heart. They used a special laser to fix the problem. And here is the wonderful news. The operation was a success. His heart was strong again. In fact, only a few days later, Cristiano was back in training. The boy came back stronger than before, and hungrier than before. Now he knew that his dream could disappear in one moment, so he decided to fight for it even harder, every single day. At 16 years old, Cristiano began to train with the first team of Sporting with the grown men. At 17, he played his first real match for Sporting. And very quickly, everybody in Portugal was talking about him. Who is this teenager? Look how fast he is. Look at his tricks. Look at his courage. And then came one very important day in the summer of 2003. Sporting played a friendly match against a famous English club. That club was Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, with their legendary manager, Sir Alex Ferguson. That day, the 18-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo played the game of his young life. He flew down the wing. He danced past the Manchester United players, one after another. The English players could not stop him. They could not even touch him. At halftime, the Manchester United players went to their manager and said, "Boss, we must sign this boy. We must sign him now, before another club takes him." Sir Alex Ferguson smiled. He was already thinking the same thing. And so, in that same summer of 2003, Manchester United bought the young Cristiano Ronaldo. The poor boy from the small island was now a player at one of the greatest clubs in the world, and the club gave him a special shirt, the shirt with the number 7. At Manchester United, the number 7 is holy. The greatest legends of the club wore that number. It was a big responsibility for a teenager. But Cristiano took the shirt, and he said, "Thank you." Inside, he made a promise. "I will honor this number." England was another new world. New country, new language, new weather. It was cold, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. Once again, Cristiano had to start from zero. Once again, he was far from home. And once again, he answered in the only way he knew: work, work, and more work. He arrived at training first, and he left last. He learned English. He grew stronger. Year by year, the young player became a man, and the man became a star. But then, in 2005, life gave Cristiano the most painful moment of all. His father, Dinis, was very sick, and in September of that year, his father died. Cristiano was only 20 years old. His heart was broken. His father was the first person who took him to football. His father was the man who worked at that small island club. washing shirts and boots, while his little son chased the ball. And now his father was gone. He would never see his son lift the greatest trophies. Cristiano cried, and his family cried with him. But Cristiano did something remarkable. Only a few days later, he played for Portugal, his national team. People asked him, "Why? Why do you play in such a sad moment?" And Cristiano answered that he played for his father. His father was proud of him, and he wanted to make his father proud, always, in every game. From that day, every goal had a deeper meaning. Every victory was also for his father, watching from heaven, and the victories began to come. Oh, they came like a river. In 2008, at Manchester United, everything exploded. Cristiano scored an unbelievable 42 goals in one season. He led Manchester United to the Championship of England and then to the biggest prize in club football, the Champions League trophy. And at the end of that magical year, Cristiano received the most beautiful gift of all, the Ballon d'Or, the Golden Ball, the prize for the best football player in the entire world. Think about it, my friends. Think about the little boy with the ball made of socks. Think about the small house with the metal roof and the rain coming in. Think about the boy who cried alone in Lisbon, 12 years old and far from his mother. That boy was now, officially, the best football player on planet Earth. He held the golden ball in his hands and he smiled, but he was not finished. Oh no, Cristiano Ronaldo was only beginning. Part 4. The best in the world. In the summer of 2009, the biggest club in Spain came for Cristiano. That club was Real Madrid, the royal club, the club of kings, the most successful club in the history of football. Real Madrid paid more money for Cristiano than any club had ever paid for any player in history. He became the most expensive player in the world. When Cristiano arrived in Madrid, 80,000 fans came to the stadium just to welcome him. 80,000 people just to say hello. They shouted his name. Ronaldo! 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 And Cristiano gave them everything. What he did at Real Madrid, my friends, was not normal. It was history. He scored goals in every way a human can score, with his right foot, with his left foot, with his head, from free kicks, from the middle of the field, in easy games and in finals. Goal after goal after goal. Season after season, he scored 50 goals, 60 goals, numbers that sounded impossible. He became the top goal scorer in the entire history of Real Madrid, more than 450 goals for the club. Let me say that again, slowly. More than 450 goals. For one club, with Real Madrid, Cristiano won the Champions League 4 times. He won league titles, cups, and World Club titles. And the Golden Ball, the Ballon d'Or, he won it again, and again, and again. In total, Cristiano Ronaldo has won the Ballon d'Or 5 times. 5 times, the best player in the world. But there was still one dream in his heart. A dream not for himself, but for his country. Cristiano wanted to win a big trophy with Portugal, his national team. For years, Portugal came close, but always lost. People said, Ronaldo wins everything with his clubs, but he will never win with Portugal. Portugal is too small. Then came the summer of 2016 and the final of the European Championship, Portugal against France. And the game was in Paris, in the home stadium of France. The whole of Portugal held its breath. But then, disaster. Early in the game, a French player crashed into Cristiano. His knee was hurt, badly hurt. Cristiano tried to run, but he could not. He tried again. He could not. And then, the strongest man in football sat down on the grass, and he cried. He cried because he had waited his whole life for this final, and now his body said no. They carried their captain off the field. Portugal had to play the biggest game of their history without their greatest player. But what happened next became legend. Cristiano did not go and sit quietly. No. In the second half, he stood next to the coach. He shouted. He encouraged. He pushed his teammates with his voice and his fire. He became like a second coach, a lion on the side of the field. "Believe!" he shouted to his teammates. "You can do it! Fight!" And his teammates fought. They fought for their injured captain. The game went on, and then, near the end, a Portuguese player named Eder scored a beautiful goal. Portugal won. Portugal were the champions of Europe for the first time in history. And Cristiano cried again, but this time they were tears of pure joy. He lifted the trophy for his country, for his family, for his island, and for his Father in heaven. After 9 golden years in Madrid, Cristiano wanted a new challenge. In 2018, he moved to Italy, to the famous club Juventus, and there he won more titles and scored more goals. In 2021, he came back to Manchester United, back to the club of his youth, and the fans welcomed him like a returning king. And then, in 2023, Cristiano began a new adventure far away in Saudi Arabia with the club Al Nassr, where he continued to score goals and break records. And with his national team, Portugal, Cristiano won another trophy in 2019, and he became the top goal scorer in the history of international football. No man in history has scored more goals for his country than Cristiano Ronaldo, from the boy with the sock ball to the greatest goal scorer of all time. Part 5. The Lessons of a Legend. So, my friends, that is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. But before we practice our English, let us stop for 1 minute. Let us ask, what does this story teach us? Because a good story is not only for enjoying. A good story is also for learning. Lesson 1. Dream big, even if people laugh. Remember the little boy who said, "I will be the best in the world"? People laughed at him, but he did not listen to the laughing. He listened to his heart. My friends, maybe you have a dream too. Maybe your dream is to speak English fluently. Maybe some people say it is too hard for you. Do not listen to them. If a poor boy from a small island can become the best on the planet, then you can learn English. I promise you that. Lesson 2. Work beats talent. When talent does not work. Cristiano was not the biggest talent in history. Many people say other players had more natural talent, but nobody worked harder. He turned his weaknesses into strengths, one by one, with thousands of hours of practice. It is the same with English. 15 minutes every day is stronger than 5 hours once a month. Small work, every day, builds giants. Lesson 3. Fall down, get up again. A heart operation at 15, loneliness at 12, the loss of his father at 20, an injury in the final of his life. Cristiano fell down many times, but every time he stood up again. In your English journey, you will also fall sometimes. You will forget words. You will make mistakes. People might laugh at your accent, like the boys in Lisbon laughed at Cristiano. Let them laugh. Stand up and continue. Champions are not people who never fall. Champions are people who always get up. And lesson 4, maybe the most beautiful one. Never forget where you come from. Today, Cristiano is rich and famous, but he always speaks about his mother, his family, and his island with love. He takes care of his family. He remembers the small house and the hard days. Success did not change his heart. Now, let us practice. I will ask you questions about the story. Try to answer in your head or out loud. Then listen to my answer. This is very good training for your English, so let us do it with energy. Where was Cristiano Ronaldo born? He was born on the island of Madeira, in the city of Funchal, in Portugal. When was he born? He was born on the 5th of February, in the year 1985. Was his family rich? No, his family was not rich. His family was poor. They lived in a small, simple house. What did his mother do? His mother worked as a cook, and she cleaned houses. She worked very hard for her children. Did little Cristiano have a real football at first? No, he did not. He made a ball from old socks, and he played with that. What did the teacher ask Cristiano at school? The teacher asked him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And what did Cristiano answer? He answered, "I want to be a footballer. I want to be the best footballer in the world." Why did the other boys call him Crybaby? Because Cristiano cried when his team lost. He hated losing because he cared so much about winning. How old was Cristiano when he went to Lisbon? He was only 12 years old. Was he happy in Lisbon at the beginning? No, he was not happy. He was homesick. He missed his mother and his island, and at night he cried. Did he give up and go home? No, he did not give up. He stayed, and he worked harder than everybody else. What happened when Cristiano was 15? The doctors found a problem with his heart. His heart was beating too fast. Did the operation go well? Yes, the operation was a success. A few days later, he was training again. Which English club bought Cristiano in 2003? Manchester United bought him after he played a fantastic game against them. What number was on his shirt at Manchester United? The number 7. It is a very special number at that club. What sad thing happened in 2005? His father died. Cristiano was only 20 years old, and his heart was broken. What did Cristiano win in 2008? He won the Champions League with Manchester United, and then he won his first Ballon d'Or, the prize for the best player in the world. Which Spanish club did he join in 2009? He joined Real Madrid, the biggest club in Spain. How many goals did he score for Real Madrid? More than 450 goals. He is the top scorer in the history of the club. How many times has Cristiano won the Ballon d'Or? He has won it 5 times. What happened to Cristiano in the final of Euro 2016? He was injured early in the game, and he could not continue playing. He cried on the field. Did Portugal lose the final? No. Portugal won the final against France. Portugal became champions of Europe for the first time in history. What did Cristiano do during the second half of that final? He stood next to the coach, and he encouraged his teammates. He was like a second coach, full of fire. Where does Cristiano play after 2023? He plays in Saudi Arabia for the club Al Nassr. And who is the top goal scorer in the history of international football? Cristiano Ronaldo. No man has scored more goals for his country. Excellent work. If you answered even half of these questions, You understood the story very well. Give yourself a smile. You are learning English through a real story, and that is wonderful. Now, let us play a small game. I love this game, and it is fantastic for your English. The game is called True or False. I will say a sentence about the story. You decide. Is it true or is it false? Say your answer out loud, true or false. Then I will tell you the correct answer. Are you ready? Let us play. Number 1. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in Spain. True or false? The answer is false. He was not born in Spain. He was born in Portugal, on the island of Madeira. Number 2. His family was rich. True or false? False. His family was not rich. His family was poor. They lived in a small house with a metal roof. Number 3. As a little boy, he made a football from old socks. True or false? True. He did not have a real ball, so he made one from old socks. Where there is a will, there is a way. Number 4. Cristiano went to Lisbon when he was 18 years old. True or false? False. He was not 18. He was only 12 years old when he left his family and went to Lisbon. So young and so brave. Number 5. In Lisbon, some boys laughed at his island accent. True or false? True. Sadly, it is true. The boys laughed at the way he spoke. But Cristiano did not stop. He continued working. Number 6. At 15, doctors found a problem with his knee. True or false? False. Be careful with this one. The problem was not with his knee. The problem was with his heart. His heart was beating too fast. But the operation was a success. Number 7. At Manchester United, Cristiano wore the number 7 shirt. True or false? True. He wore the famous number 7. That is why many people call him CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, number 7. Number 8. Cristiano won the Ballon d'Or 3 times. True or false? False. Not 3 times. He won the Ballon d'Or 5 times. 5 golden balls for the boy from Madeira. Number 9. In the final of Euro 2016, Cristiano scored the winning goal. True or false? False. This is a tricky one. Cristiano did not score in that final because he was injured early in the game. His teammate Eder scored the winning goal, but Cristiano helped the team with his heart and his voice like a second coach. Number 10. Cristiano Ronaldo is the top goal scorer in the history of international football. True or false? True. No man in history has scored more goals for his country. What a story. What a player. How many did you get right? 8? 9? All 10? Whatever your number, well done. This game is not really about football. It is about your English listening, and your listening is getting stronger every minute. Now, let us learn some easy grammar from our story. Do not worry. It will be simple, and it will be useful. In this story, we talked about the past, about things that happened before now. In English, when we talk about the past, the verbs change. Listen to these examples from our story. Is becomes was. Cristiano was born in 1985. His family was poor. Are becomes were. They were poor. The streets were his stadium. Live becomes lived. The family lived in a small house. Work becomes worked. His mother worked as a cook. Play becomes played. He played football every day. Cry becomes cried. He cried when his team lost. Do you hear the pattern? Lived worked, played, cried. Many past verbs end with this D sound. We call them regular verbs. But some verbs are different. They are rebels. They do not follow the rule. Listen. Go becomes went. He went to Lisbon at 12. Make becomes made. He made a ball from old socks. Buy becomes bought. Manchester United bought him in 2003. Win becomes won. He won the Ballon d'Or 5 times. Become becomes became. The boy became a legend. We call these irregular verbs, and we learn them one by one with practice. Went, made, bought, won, became. Say them one more time with me. Went, made, bought, won, became. Very good. And one more small, beautiful thing. In the story, you heard the phrase give up many times. Give up means to stop trying. Cristiano never gave up. This is a very important phrase in English and in life. Let us practice it. I will not give up. She never gives up. Do not give up on your dreams. Never give up on your English. Beautiful. That phrase is now yours. Let us also collect some useful expressions from our story, beautiful phrases that you can use in your own English, starting today. The first expression is fall in love with. Little Cristiano fell in love with football. It means to start loving something or someone very much. You can say, I fell in love with English. She fell in love with music. The second expression is believe in yourself. It means to trust that you can do it. His mother believed in him, and he believed in himself. Say it with me. I believe in myself. The third expression is step by step. It means slowly, one small piece at a time. He became great, step by step. You will learn English, step by step. The fourth expression is be proud of. It means to feel happy about someone's success. His father was proud of him. I am proud of you. And the last expression is from the beginning to the end. It means the whole thing, everything. You watch this story from the beginning to the end. Wonderful. 5 expressions. Fall in love with. Believe in yourself. Step by step. Be proud of. And from the beginning to the end. Try to use one of them today. Now, our vocabulary. Here are the most important words from today's story. I will say each word, give you the meaning, and then example sentences. Listen and repeat. Island. An island is land with water all around it. Madeira is a beautiful island. Cristiano was born on an island. Island. Poor. Poor means having very little money. His family was poor. The poor boy had no real football. Poor. Dream. A dream is something you want very much in your life. His dream was to be the best in the world. Follow your dream. Dream. Practice. To practice means to do something many times, to become better. He practiced his shooting every day. I practice English every morning. Practice. Homesick. Homesick means sad because you are far from your home. The boy was homesick in Lisbon. When I travel, I sometimes feel homesick. Homesick. Give up. To give up means to stop trying. He never gave up. Do not give up. You are almost there. Give up. Injury. An injury is damage to your body. For example, in sport, he had a knee injury in the final. The player is out because of injury. Injury. Trophy. A trophy is a prize, often a golden cup for the winner. Portugal lifted the trophy in 2016. The team won the trophy. Trophy. Score. To score means to make a goal or to win a point. He scored more than 450 goals for Real Madrid. Who scored the goal? Score. Champion. A champion is the winner, the number one. Portugal became the champions of Europe. She is a true champion. Champion. Proud. Proud means feeling happy about something good, something you did, or someone you love. His father was proud of him. I am proud of you. Because you are learning English. Proud. Believe. To believe means to think that something is true or possible. His mother believed in her son. Believe in yourself. Believe. Wonderful. Let us say our new words one more time, all together. Island, poor, dream, practice, homesick, give up, injury, trophy, score, champion, proud, believe. These words are strong words. Use them this week. Now it is time to speak. This part is called Listen and Repeat, and it is one of the most powerful exercises in this whole video. I will say a sentence from our story, slowly and clearly. After each sentence, there is a quiet moment. In that moment, you say the sentence out loud. Copy my speed. Copy my melody. Do not whisper. Use your real voice. Ready? Let us begin. He was born on a small island. Now you. His family was poor. Your turn. But he had a big dream. Say it. He made a ball from old socks. Now you. He played football every day. Your turn. At 12, he left his home. Say it. He was homesick, but he did not give up. Now you. He worked harder than everybody. Your turn. He became the best player in the world. Say it. He won the golden ball 5 times. Now you. He never forgot his family. Your turn. And now, 3 sentences about you. These are your sentences. Say them like you mean them. I have a big dream. Say it loudly. I work on my English every day. Your turn. I will never give up. One more time, with power. I will never give up. Beautiful. Do you feel that? That is your English voice, and it is growing stronger. Practice these sentences again tomorrow, and they will start to feel natural in your mouth. And now, one final gift before we finish. Let us listen to the whole story one more time, but this time, in a short and simple version. This is a fantastic exercise. You already know the story, so now your brain can relax and enjoy the English. Listen how much you understand this time. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in 1985 on the island of Madeira in Portugal. His family was poor but full of love. His father worked at a small football club, and his mother worked as a cook and a cleaner. Little Cristiano loved football more than anything in the world. He had no real ball, so he made one from old socks. He played in the streets every day, from morning until night. He told his teacher, "I want to be the best footballer in the world." People laughed, but he did not care. At 8, he joined his first club. At 10, he moved to a bigger club on the island. And at 12, the great club Sporting invited him to Lisbon. So the little boy said goodbye to his family and flew across the sea, alone. In Lisbon, he was homesick. The other boys laughed at his accent, and at night, he cried. But every morning, he remembered his dream, and he trained harder than everyone. At 15, doctors found a problem with his heart. He had an operation, and he came back stronger. At 18, He played a wonderful game against Manchester United, and the club bought him immediately. In England, he wore the famous number 7. He worked, he grew, and he became a star. In 2005, his father died, and Cristiano played on for his father. In 2008, he won the Champions League and his first Ballon d'Or. In 2009, Real Madrid paid a world record to sign him. In Madrid, he scored more than 450 goals and won the Champions League 4 more times. In 2016, he won the European Championship with Portugal. The team won the final for their injured captain. Later, he played for Juventus in Italy, returned to Manchester United, and then moved to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. He won the Ballon d'Or 5 times, and he became the top goal scorer in the history of international football. From a sock ball to the top of the world. Not because of luck, because of a dream, and work, and a heart that never gave up. That is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. And you understood it in English. Congratulations. And now, my friends, we come to the end of our story. Today, you did not only learn English, you traveled from a small island to the biggest stadiums in the world. You saw a boy with a ball made of socks become a 5-time winner of the Golden Ball. And on the way, you learned new words, new grammar, and maybe a new way of thinking. Let me leave you with one final thought. Cristiano Ronaldo once said something like this: "Your love for what you do and your hard work, these are the things that take you to the top." Football was his language. English is your new language. So love it, work at it, a little every day, and never give up. The boy from Madeira did not become great in one day. And you will not learn English in one day. But day by day, step by step, goal by goal, you will get there. I believe in you, just like his mother believed in him. Now, your small task. In the comments below, answer this question in English. What is your big dream? Write 1 sentence, or 2. Simple English is perfect. I read your comments, and every sentence you write is practice. And if you enjoyed this story, please give the video a like. It helps this channel very much. Subscribe to Bookish English and turn on the bell, because every week we learn English through beautiful stories, true stories, classic stories, and stories that touch the heart. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, dream big, work hard, and never give up. See you in the next story. Goodbye, my friends.